So today I want to talk to you about a new way of thinking that I started implementing, and it 10x my happiness and my results. So let's get straight into it. So I'm not gonna waste your time, I'm gonna get straight into the juicy stuff right away. So basically what this new way of thinking that I started implementing a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, it's basically just switching from focusing on the end results and taking pride in the daily consistent action. So let me explain to you what I mean by that, because I know it sounds a little bit like woo-woo. So basically what I mean by that is, you know, when I first started my agency, I was 16 years old, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I got a little bit lucky in the beginning, and I was also working super hard. So you know, I deserved the results, but you know, I got a little bit lucky as well. So end of the story is, you know, I started making quite a lot of money for a 16-year-old quite quickly. So you know, I was making at first like $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month, and you know, I mean, for me that was a lot of money at the beginning as a 16-year-old who never made more than a couple $100 in a month. So that kind of you know, wired my brain to be proud of myself whenever I you know, got a certain amount of clients, or whenever I made a certain amount of income per month. And you know, I'm not saying that's like necessarily bad, and you should definitely have really high goals, and I believe that, you know, everybody needs to create abundance, and I'm working on, you know, making more and more money myself every single day. But it's not a really good way of thinking, because once you kind of lose that external you know, result, or once something happens, you will want to kill yourself, because you will be like, hey, you know, I was only proud of this person because he made X amount of money this month or last month. And then if you lose a lot of your income, then you're gonna be super depressed, and you're just not going to be happy with yourself at all. And that's what happened to me this year in January, when I lost two of my biggest clients, and with that I lost like huge amount of revenue from my agency, like, you know, like over 60% of my revenue. So I was like fucking crushed in the beginning. Okay, so like my ego kind of like died. I was just super depressed for a few weeks, and then I had to change my thinking from, instead of just focusing on the end results and like, you know, how much money I make, all that stuff, I started focusing on being consistent with my daily actions that I set myself. So for example, let's say I wanted to do 10 outreaches every single day to new businesses, to potential clients, and if I was able to stick to that for 10 days straight, you know, I would kind of like reward myself or pat myself on the back. Or if I was able to wake up, you know, every single day at 5:30 a.m., which I set myself, and go to bed on time and get good sleep for a long time, then, you know, I would reward myself for that. Or you know, if I was able to stick with my meditation habit for a long time, I would reward myself for that. And instead of just focusing on the outcome of, you know, doing all these habits like all the time, and being you know, just overall like high performer, and basically instead of focusing on like the money, I started focusing on sticking with these habits and making sure that I'm kind of like getting my private victories, as Iman likes to call it, you know, every single day. And that like completely changed my life, and the reason for that is because, you know, once I was able to kind of like stick to my habits, and once I was able to be consistent with them, I started getting the results as well. So instead of like, you know, being stuck at that point, and instead of just like feeling sorry for myself for losing a couple clients, or instead of feeling, you know, bad about myself, like, you know, I'm not making as much money as I was making before, I started like progressing, and I became a better person. And that kind of, you know, showed in the results, and I already started making, you know, more and more money. And yeah, that's kind of this new mindset that I want you guys to adopt, or at least if you don't want to be screwed like I was. I felt like this is something I needed to share, because, you know, I've been doing this wrong for like my whole life before it. I was only paying attention to the numbers and the results, and you know, that can end you up in a really sad and depressed place. So that's not good. I'm not saying not focus on money. I'm not saying, you know, don't aim for high goals. My goals are super fucking high. Like, anybody who knows me personally, they know that I dream like of crazy stuff, you know. Like, I'm not one of those people who are just like, all right, yo, I'm just going to meditate in my beat up car all day and I'm gonna be happy. You know, I want to achieve great things in life because that's what makes me happy. Like, progression makes me happy, but I still need to make sure that I'm not putting my self-worth and my value on the external result. So really hope you guys enjoy this little bit rant or a little, you know, mindset video. I know I'm usually not making these kind of videos, but you know, if I saw this like a couple years ago, I would be so much ahead, and I'm still young, but yeah, it would have been like so much better if I already knew this. So I encourage you guys to implement this kind of thinking and just see what happens. And yeah, really hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, and also go and subscribe to the channel. Please turn on the post notifications because only like 25% of you have it turned on. So let's try to get that up to like 50% at least. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.